Hi everyone, my name is Péter Vőneki and I would like to welcome everyone on the newest evosoft podcast episode. This is our second time when we are going to talk about AI, and now I have the same guest with me who is Florian Prüfer, who is the Global AI Program Manager. Hi Florian.
Hi Peter.
How are you?
I'm very good. Was a long time since we saw each other, but finally back again here.
Yeah. Did you get any feedbacks after our first session?
Yes, I got some, but some funny ones as well. So people started to recognize me more often, and you're the guy from the podcast, and so this was the main reaction firsthand, and then the second, of course, I got good feedback about that this was interesting content and they learned something, and this was really nice for me.
Yeah, it's hard to be famous and to be the face of something.
Yeah, and did you get also some feedback or?
Yeah, I got some, and people were really happy and they found it really useful and valuable. They usually listen to evosoft podcast during the time when they come to work, and they said like, yeah, it was really great to listen to it.
That's nice, and I think that is also the reason why we're here again.
Yeah.
Because people liked it.
Hopefully we can give again something valuable.
Yeah, great. Let's start.
We are just after evosoft Business Conference. This is a joint conference between evosoft Hungary and evosoft GmbH. And one topic was AI, but it wasn't the only topic which was mentioned during this 2-day conference. Yeah. I'm really curious, what were your biggest takeaways? Was there anything, an aha moment which you can remember too, or how was this 2-day conference for you?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm pretty glad that I didn't had to do a presentation here this time, because there's a lot happened before, and our evosoft Solution Day where I did a presentation. There is something upcoming, and in that case, I think our CEO, Catherine, she did a great job. I just started counting the last 5 minutes of her presentation, but still there she had like 13 times mentioned the word AI. So nice. There was enough marketing around AI without the need for me to presenting something there, and this was good. So I'm pretty glad. And apart from that, I think there was a lot of energy in the room. We talked about many different topics, and honestly, AI is of course an important part, but also there are other important topics, not only AI, and it shows me that it's not only AI which is going at a very high speed, but there are also many other topics in the company which are going at a very high speed, and which is really, really demanding for our people, that they need to keep up not only with AI, which alone would be already exhausting, but many other topics as well. And this is one learning, and of course I liked to connect with many people and colleagues here, and this is also the main outcome for me always, to be able to connect and also clarify some trickier things in person here on site. This makes it way easier. Yeah,
that's true. For me, I think that, I don't know how many, there were like 10, 11 conferences or 10, 11 presentations. And there were some which were really about AI, but it was really interesting for me that there were other when AI was really was just mentioned as a tool. And I feel like this is really the sign that we are after the first big wave, and now AI is not something that you really have to point a finger to it in every single conversation, every single presentation, because there, for example, productivity is the main reason why we are talking about it, or organizational change, and this is just one small aspect, one small tool, and that's what I experienced. Like, okay, AI is really now in everyday life, and we can refer to it like, hey, we use AI, but that's as normal as, I don't know, breathing air or something like that.
Yes, and I see it the same, and I also enjoyed the other presentations which were not only about AI or didn't include really AI, because I feel this is also important, and if you overhype a topic, it can be also get not so interesting for people or more annoying, and that's why I think it's good to also have different topics.
Yeah. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit. What is happening, or what has happened since we last spoke in the world? What are the current trends? Because I can see that a lot of changes are happening constantly in the last, I don't know, 5-6 years, and it's really hard to track them. And I feel like it's hard to be in the driver's seat. But what has happened in the IT world regarding AI?
So since the last time we did the podcast, I think there was a new word invented. It's called AI slop.
Wow.
which means like there's a lot of content out there on social media, on LinkedIn, for example, where people just generate content with AI, which is not from high value, and this is then the whole social media is then full of trash, and so it makes hard for you to differentiate. So this is, let's say, a founding of a word and a phenomenon, but also newer models have been released. For example, what I'm using quite heavily is now the new Gemini, Nano Banana it's called. You know why it's called Nano Banana?
I have no idea. This is the first time when I'm hearing Nano Banana.
Okay, because Google was building a new image generation model, and it was with the letters NB as letters, as a name. And then people were like funny and just told that this could be Nano Banana, and then this was such a hype that even Google then took this and applied it to their product. And if you use now Gemini, this picture generation model, you will have a banana next to the picture generation.
Nice.
And that's really a very good model to generate pictures. And honestly, I generate more fun pictures out of it. So if you ask me if I'm being more productive with that in my private life, no, it's more enjoying myself, having fun with friends about some situations.
Do you get tricked with the AI-generated pictures, or can you distinguish, or can you point out like, hey, wait a minute, let's count the fingers or something like that?
Yeah, I think the count the fingers thing is already over. Yeah, so if this is still your point to differentiate if it's AI or not, you will be tricked immediately. And honestly, this new model, it's crazy. I could not differentiate really, and it could also destroy relationships or things like if you do the wrong things with that. And if
that
you
sounds a little bit doomsday vibe, or it has doomsday vibes, but we will see.
Yeah, and regarding other trends, I think agentic was already there when we talked, but I see that people now realize slowly that you cannot do everything agentic with AI. And this is because of one reason. The companies put very much money into these models and into the agent topic, and the companies they want to adopt, they cannot hold pace with that. And so you will have a gap between what is being offered on the market and what is being demanded, and this will somehow go down again.
This is really visible, and there are a lot of articles on the internet about it. So that's something which is happening right now. But I think it's really good that we are aware of it, and we have to say it out loud that this is what's currently happening around us, because we cannot change that.
Yeah.
And let's zoom in a little bit into our evosoft or Siemens life. What has happened inside our organization since we last spoke?
A lot. So at that point, we already had the one tech company program within Siemens, of course. And we had the reorganization, which is also impacting, of course, the AI program. We need to adapt some things, for example, the department champions, which is taking some of our efforts within the program. But looking from a positive side, I would say we generated a lot of visibility. We made AI more normal for people to use in their everyday life, and we scaled the usage of the tools a lot. So we don't have to point the people too much anymore to use the tools, but everybody accepted it as it is a tool everybody needs to use. And this is, I think, a very good success. And apart from that, one thing to highlight quite recently is that we won the One Tech Company Transformation Award within FT.
Which is a great success. And
we won it twice, actually.
Yeah.
And one was the great idea of some smart-minded people who had some idea within the innovation team and who are also AI experts. And the other one is that the whole Gen AI adoption topic we do together with the whole FTD was also being rewarded. And this is something, because it was quite recently, to of course, highlight.
Yeah, but I think it's great. I think that it's great that these things has happened. What about you? Have you or how do you use currently AI? Do you use the same way as you used it 3 months ago, or did anything happen with you which you would like to highlight, or an example where you had success or maybe failure with AI generated content?
I think I use it somehow similar. Maybe I choose some different models sometimes, but I think for me personally there was not too much change in my personal behavior or usage, but I also see that I still have room for improvement in using it more often, because sometimes I get stressed within my daily work, and then I often miss to really leverage the tools I have, because just if you're in a stress mode, then you might not recognize. So this shows, even also with me working daily within AI, still there is some room to get it more to a habit that I automatically use it.
I wanted to ask it from you for during our first recording as well, but now it just came to my mind that I will explain how I use Siemens GPT. I just use it as I use Google, so I just open it and type my question. And I know that there are a lot of models which I can choose from, but like, for example, I don't know, GPT-4, DeepSeek, Gemini, all of those stuffs. And I'm not really aware which one should I use, so I just use the default one. And if I feel like the answer is not correct for me, maybe I choose a second or a third one, but that's my way. I know that this is not the right way to use these models, but do you have any hints, or how do you use Siemens GPT?
Okay, so first of all, I would not say that there's a right or wrong way, because you use it, and that's good. So I won't frame it that you use it in a wrong way. And honestly, there is like this LLM selector bot on Siemens GPT, which could help you in selecting the appropriate model for your use case. But to be frank, when I use it, I also use it like you most of the time, because I'm still in my working mode, and then I just type something in, and I don't want to make extra thoughts of like which model to choose, which is then an extra effort. That's why I'm also using the default model. But maybe one tip for you, or one hint: if you find a model more useful, you can change the default model for you. This would be one hint I can give to you. And the other way, I would not say it is an issue if you just choose the default model. Only change it if you feel that the output could be better. That's totally fine.
That I was not aware of this LLM selector bot, so that's one hint which I will try it out. Because to be honest, there are so many chatbots or bots, and it's sometimes hard to distinguish which one should I interact with sometimes. Do you have any idea how to do that, how to solve that issue? Or do you encounter the same problem that who should I contact, which surface should I type my problem into?
Yeah, and that's the same what I explained before. I think it can connect to these AI slop. I don't want to like say that these bots are all trash and you cannot use them. They are very good bots inside, but it's getting more and more, and this makes it more difficult for the user, which holds you back from using it in general, which is, in my opinion, not so good. So I like when the tools stay simple and are there for the average user, and then a power user can maybe get some extra features. This is what I would support to even increase adoption. In your case, and special question, there's also a search for the bot. So you can not only type on based on words, but really on a semantic search. So you can type "find me a bot," which is doing this or that.
Based on your experience currently, what is, do you think, the motivational level of the colleagues regarding AI? Because I just want to mention one topic, is that I have experienced that since we last spoke, there were a couple of colleagues who were not that engaged back month ago, really feel like, okay, AI is not that type of a balloon, not that type of a hype which is going to fly away in the short term. It's going to stick with us. okay, if it's going to stick with us on the long run, now I really have to try and use it in my everyday life. And I was surprised how their mindset has changed. And I feel like that's maybe in our organization. I can name a couple of colleagues who has experienced that. What is your what do you feel? What is your experience about that?
I have the same feeling if I look around in the company. I would say AI become to a more use unless. That's also, I think, a nice framing. You should use AI unless you have a good reason not to. This is a very nice framing of that topic, and I can also see that people really like to engage now, and this is something nice to see. Of course, you cannot measure that really in that sense. How much people like. We have some metrics on that, and we do some surveys on that to get a feeling. But in general, just from my personal opinion, I also can see that as you should.
Yeah, for example, if I can see a presentation and there is an AI-generated slide in it, I think 2 years ago I was laughing, or it really hit my eyes that, hey, wait a minute, that's an AI-generated. Now it's just like any other slide. It doesn't. It's nothing extra. That's what I feel like. It's becoming everyday.
Yeah, and that's what many people maybe also didn't realize, that they're even more now powerful features, and it's really hard to keep up with them. But you can generate easily now PowerPoint slides with Siemens GPT. You can generate forecast charts based on existing data in Excel about whatever the increase of sales of a specific product, and many more features. And this is really insane. And I think everybody can find their own use case to use that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let's talk a little bit about the upcoming future, not years away, but let's say in a year span, or maybe next time until we spoke. Is there anything which you think is going to happen, which you are waiting for, or which we should look forward to?
The whole storyline of the Gen AI journey I mentioned is also that we started with the trainings, and then last year we started also to increase really the tool, the licenses, how much people use the tool. And now we're getting to this engaged you mentioned before, so that people use the tool in like really an active way. And then the very next step after that will be not using it in an engaged way, but then also using it with generating value. And this is also part of the one tech company, that we come to a output-based or value-based services we deliver to our customer, and not being counted on individual hours or money we spend on projects. And this is the overall storyline, and AI plays a part of it, but I also don't want to frame that AI is the only part of it. So there are other aspects you mentioned from the EBC, also with reuse, with OSAS, which are also helping to decrease the toil, so the work which is not really the development work. And AI is a part of that, and a crucial part of that, but not the only one. And this is all in this vision. And then zooming in a bit again on AI, I would say that my vision there is to become to a more realistic usage of AI, because we were really focusing on increasing usage, and now I want to get to a realistic usage. So really, what works, what doesn't work, where does it bring value, where does not be any value inside. So this is the things I want to focus this year on, and we have some things upcoming in the program I'm really looking forward to.
Where can we check them, or how are we going to know about these new news or programs?
So we will keep the people informed and give them some updates through regular platforms, newsletters, through the champions. So we try to find the right spot to also not overwhelm the people with all the news, because this is also very important for me. I don't want to be the face of the AI program, which people connect to. This is annoying. So we try to really keep the balance. And of course, people want to get some more information, some want to keep less, and we try to keep the balance. But it's also a push and pull. So if you have any questions, then feel free to ask your AI champion about it. Of course, you will get some information. or then of course you can wait for the official communications to it.
A little bit back to the metrics. I'm curious if you feel if you feel like there can be a productive way how we can measure the improvement in our productivity. Because I will just tell you one quick story about myself until you figure out the answer. Is that what I'm trying to do currently is that I'm really looking into my everyday work life and point out those things which I don't like in my workday.
That's good.
And I really try to recognize those parts which I have to do, but those are not really the happy part of my everyday life. And I try to give those tasks to the AI, because I feel like that if I could reduce the amount of time which I'm spending on that, I will be motivated in the one which I really like, and then I can improve my productivity. But it's really hard to measure.
Yes.
And that's why I'm curious if you have any idea about it.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I have the feeling, did you listen my presentation on the evosoft solution day in Germany? It was not streamed, so, and
no,
you were
I
not
did
there,
not.
so...
No.
But this was actually one of my 3 key hints there, to really find some annoying task and use this to start using AI, because this helps you, because it's annoying and you want to get rid of it. And this was one of my key tips, and you just mentioned it here, so I was a bit surprised that you mentioned that.
I will be honest, I have not listened to that because I didn't have the chance, but we just came to the same solution in a different way. Yeah,
but getting back to your question, so of course in that way it will be hard for you to measure that productivity you increase, and I don't think that in that case it's important that you need to somehow put numbers behind there. But if you get a feeling of being more effective and getting more things done, in that case, I think this is already enough. Yeah. And if we look on like the software development, of course there are some metrics, and there are things like how many story points are being developed, and many different things like the defect rate, and this can be measured, but we don't want to measure like individual people and compare you to me, because we are two different ones, and this is not the point there. And you can do that, but for you I don't think it makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, we have different tasks, different team. We are working different teams, so it's really hard to put it into the same level and to measure them to each other. One more question which came to me, which I wanted to ask from you, is that are there going to be any conferences in the future, or what is going to happen in the next weeks, next month?
So it will be not in the next weeks, but of course we plan to have another AI conference, and we plan some improvements there, because we learned a lot, and it was quite nicely received from the colleagues, the last year's conference. So there's definitely something I can already spoil that we plan to have again. And apart from that, this was a tough week, and we had the EBC, and before that I had also the AI program workshop with the colleagues. And we are planning to improve a lot of things. There's a lot of things upcoming. We want to have a better communication, a more structured communication. And we also want to focus also on other users, which are not only GitHub Copilot. Of course, we did before. We talked about Siemens GPT. But we still want to put more effort in that, because we have more than just the developers in our company, and it is very important for me to also give more learnings, more hints, more tricks, and invest more in that topics as well.
Sounds great. As a closing, I want to turn into your personal life. You said in the previous video that you come a lot to Budapest because of your new role. If you only have one afternoon or one day here, what is that one place which you always put into your agenda, where you like to sit, where you like to, what do you like to eat, where you like to drink, anything like that?
So of course, when I'm here, I'm the social guy. So I always have appointments till the evening. I meet with colleagues and friends from here. So this is my favorite thing, not really connected to the city itself. But then we meet up in some classical pubs and bars here, which is the Ruin Bars. I don't want to do any advertisement, but I think you can imagine what I mean.
We know which one you are referring to.
Yeah, right. And definitely I would recommend that, to go there with a colleague. And on the other hand, still I have been here also in private times before, and then I would definitely go somewhere uphill, watch the sunset in an evening, and have a great view on the city to relax a bit. That's what's helping me to settle down a bit.
Yeah, that sounds nice. Yeah, thank you very much, Florian. I think it was great again.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you all for watching. Bye.
Bye.